Hey everybody, and welcome to Taming the Perilous Skies 100 Days Until Launch. Today is day. It's the last in our daily Wink series on bringing a story to life in a multimedia world. We've covered a lot of interesting little topics, little tidbits. Kicked off the week with Russ Nickel and Joshua Pavato and Patrick Wimp, which was really, really awesome. So please watch that if you haven't. And then we talked about some of the things to surround the work with. And so the interactive idea of askbrian.ai, right, where you can ask Brian Medlock anything. Some of the hardcover, embellishments, like the temporary tattoo that I plan to include in the Kickstarter, hardcover version. Reddit to support community and talk about games. And then last episode was all around trying to create a nice little mini-series, maybe one episode per chapter. But today I'm going to introduce an idea that we're actually going to be going into in a lot more depth later on. And that is using AI to create a full motion picture. Now it's challenging because in a lot of ways, like we talked about last time for miniseries, you have to have a consistency of how the character looks. You have to have consistency of ambiance. Every single cut, every single scene in that screenplay, right? Every aspect of that storyboard has to hold together just as if it were shot on a Hollywood studio. The technology is coming along. The technology is really coming along. My colleagues had spoken, and my friends who are screenwriters and all this have begun to toy with this. I know we're working with VO3, and that's really, really promising. And so what does making a motion picture of your novel look like? Have you thought about that? I mean, if you've dreamed like I have, you're thinking about what actors... Anyway, who would play your characters? But when you create a storyboard and then a screenplay for motion picture, that's AI driven around the novel, what a fun exercise that is, right? You can imagine it's an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I think Taming the Perilous Skies lends itself well to that. But storyboarding that out, like, what's the opening scene? Is it the same as the opening scene of my book, where you get a hint of the tragedy, but then boom, you're back to that morning and normal life and how it's been transformed by anti-gravity? What about the epigraph with the theory of persistence? Does it roll upward like the Star Wars intro? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, that theory of persistence, right? The cornerstone to my entire work. I don't want it to be lost. And so I don't know, but we're going to be going deep on that in a different week. And so tomorrow, wink, we kick off the use of AI and how that changes the writing process for the debut author. But for this episode, debut author, tell me about your desires for bringing your book to the big screen. Until tomorrow.